Yo, so welcome back you lot. I hope you're all doing well, and in this video I'm going to show you how to register a dirt bike, ignore the sumo wheels, on the road in the UK. At the time that I'm currently filming this is after I've done everything, so I'm going to walk you through step by step myself registering this bike for the road in the UK. And before we get started in the process, I want to tell you how long it takes. For me, this time it took in total 2 to 3 weeks to get all the paperwork back, all the paperwork sent off, and V5 received for this bike. So if you lot are interested in doing this, you're looking about at a max about a month to a max time of 2 months to get this all done. But I got mine back within 2 to 3 weeks, and I'm going to walk you through step by step how to get your dirt bike, I've got sumos at the moment, on the road in the UK. But before we do get started, make sure you lot subscribe, because I've spent my time walking you through step by step about this whole process, and hopefully this can help you for the future. But for now, I'm gonna go back to the past, to when we started getting this bike for the road, and I'll see you lot at the end of the video. We're back. Just look at her. Just look at her. She's ready to be ripped in every city we land in. But there's a lot we need to do. There's a lot of other videos I'm going to do as well, because we also need to register it. It's not registered yet, so I'm going to walk through the whole process with you lot, showing you how to register it. I registered a few bikes before, and this one ain't any different. I know exactly how to do it. I'm going to show you lot how to do it, but there's a lot we need to do on this bike. Okay, so the very first step that you want to be doing to get your bike on the road is to get your LOA or your COC, which is your letter of authenticity or your certificate of confirmation. All this is just to say that the bike is from Husqvarna. They made it, they produced it, so it's safe for the road. If you don't do this, you can get a Q plate, but then you've got to fight with DVLA to say, oh, the bike's safe. It's easier just to buy this. It used to be 150 plus VAT, which was about 180 quid. However, it's now jumped up in price to, I think it's 250 to 300 quid to get this. However, you're going to need this, and it's what the only most expensive part of the whole process. What you want to do, if you're Husky KTM, what you want to do is take a side picture of your profile, side picture of your motorcycle, a clear picture of the VIN on the right stand, make sure it's clear, and then also a clear picture of the engine number. I take a couple pictures, so I take a couple, which is the side and the front of the bike. However, the main parts is making sure your VIN's clear and your engine number's clear. And all you want to do is then find a Husqvarna or KTM dealership near you. From there, you can just email any of these and they'll walk you through the process. Simple as that. They'll help you out with the process. They're there to do the process for you. So you want to email one of them, asking for it, and then you're going to send them that information, and then you're going to pay for it. However, if you are the first owner of this bike, you can get this for free, where you don't have to pay at all. Also for Honda, Yamaha, any of the other brands, same sort of system. Just email the head office of Yamaha or Honda. The thing is, with the Huskies and KTM, you can't do a bike that's older than 2010. If it's older than 2010, you have to go through a different process, which I don't know. But email them, they'll be able to walk you through the right steps. But for Husky KTM, all you have to do is go find your local dealer, any dealer near you, email them, and they'll walk you through the process step by step. Or even Gear 4 have an online purchase system where you do this. It costs a little bit more, but you can do it all online with them, no phoning up, no emails to anyone. But what I've done, I've emailed my local Husky dealership, sent them a couple of pictures of my bike, VIN, engine number, paid them over the phone, and now the LOA should be on the way. However, while you're waiting for your LOA, it's time to get started with your V55-5. Alright, so after you sent off to get your LOA or whatever sort of certificates you need from the actual manufacturer, what you next want to move on to is your V55-5 form. This looks all complicated, it looks all mad, but it's actually very simple to fill out and very easy. There's a couple YouTube videos as well, but I'm going to walk you through. I'm going to fill out the basic information that I need to show you, that I can actually show you without hiding anything, like the VINs and all that. And then I'll show you exactly what you need to fill out and what you don't need to fill out. A lot of this is inclusive to you. But yeah, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna fill it out how I've done it before and how it always works. And then if you're copying, just copy what I've filled out and just, of course, put your own stuff in there. All right, so here's the first page to the V55-5 that I've now filled out. Of course, I've left some gaps of where my information will go, but I'll walk you through that. So for number 1, your registration number, of course, you don't have that yet, so you're going to leave that blank. Number 2, you're going to put down bicycle. Number 3, you're going to put down the tax period that you want to tax the vehicle for, which will either be 6 or 12 months. Most people normally do 12, but save a bit. If you want to save a bit of money, just put down 6. And then what you have to do, tick for registration fee, and then for taxable amount, go onto the website, which I'll show you in a second, and you'll be able to see what the tax rates are for your bike. So it should be around 40 quid for a 450, It's sometimes cheaper, sometimes more, it just depends on the rate at the time, and then you'll fill that price in there. We want to find the amount of tax it's going to cost us for our motorbike. So what we want to do is, so we're not a tricycle, we're a motorcycle with or without a sidecar, all right? Okay, we've got this part section here, and then all we want to do is find what CC we are. So we would be 401 to 600, which is there, and we're going to be doing 6 months of tax, which is now 46.20p. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go to tax payable, and we're going to fill in 46.20. Make sure to check your tax rates though, because this used to be 20 quid, then 40 quid. It's gone and changed a lot. So make sure you find out your exact tax rate, because when I last done this last year, it was £41. So it's always going up. It's never going down. So make sure that is right. Next will be your manufacturer. So mine's a Husqvarna. Same with the make. It's a Husqvarna. The model FC450. Some people just put the FC, but I just put it correct from the beginning. So I put FC450. Type of body is a motorcycle. Wheel plan, it's a 2-wheel bike. Color, yours will be different, of course. Same with all this information here. So you have these 3 boxes here, which would be different for yours unless you're doing the same bike. So for color, mine's white. So I put down white. And then this is the important one for 11. For type of approval, this is the most updated V55 form as well, so it's a little bit different to the older ones. You got to put exempt enduro. This will stop you from any of all this SVA testing, which for SVA testing you would have to bring your bike into a center, get the get the ride height measured, the seat height measured, the whole bike checked over, stuff like that. We're going for exempt enduro because that's what the bike is. It's an enduro bike. So just make sure you put exempt enduro and make sure you fill this form out correctly when you do it. Next, you're gonna have your country. So it's going to be England, of course, and then you're going to have your vehicle under there. You're just going to put rear wheel drive. It's a rear wheel drive vehicle. Leave that one blank. Then your date on the V55. Once you've got all your information ready and you're about to send it off, then fill out this date. So I've got to wait for the LOA to come back here and some other bits as well, the Nova and stuff like that, which we'll go through. So wait till everything's back, and when you're about to all send it off, then we're going to fill out this, and you'll see in this video we'll come back and fill this out. Type of fuel should be petrol, unless you've got a diesel bike, which I don't know about any diesel bikes. Then you're going to put your VIN/chassis number into this box here. Make sure it's filled out correctly and clearly as well. And then underneath you're going to put your engine number. I've left this blank just because I'm going to fill mine out soon. You put your engine number. Under that it's a 450, however mine is a 449. Most people just put 450, but I'm putting down 449 because that's what I normally see when I look on the V5s and stuff. They always say 449. And then the rest of it is all exempt except for question number 25. On the old V55 forms is question number 27, but you're going to put the year of manufacturer. So mine's a 2016 FC450. And then the rest of the sheet, what you're going to do, you don't have to put all these crosses and dashes. It just makes it easier for the DVLA when they're going through your forms and stuff. They can see that you're fully exempt from there. So yeah, make sure this information's correct, filled out, make sure your tax price is right, make sure the date is right, and then we're going to move on to the other side of this document now. We're now on the other side of the V55 sheet. If you're wondering where I covered this, is because I started filling it out and I forgot how to film it. My name's Dylan. So yeah, if you come onto this side of the sheet, first of all you got to fill out if you're a Mr, Mrs, other, if you're another, I've never seen another rider bike. So then all you're going to put is first name, surname. You don't need to do the DVLA fleet number. You're going to put your address, moved it there, postcode in that box. You're going to put your date of birth. In here you're going to put your phone number and your email address. And then this is the next important part. What you're going to do is, this vehicle exempt, which we are. We're exempt enduro for this type of approval, so please indicate the full reason for exemption. So our reason is it's a trials enduro bike. It's exempt from SVA testing. So that's exactly what you're going to put, nothing more, nothing less. Trials/enduro, exempt from SVA testing. And then for the mileage, I haven't filled this out yet, but all you're going to put is 000 000. I'll fill that out now and come back in a second, just so no one gets confused. But all you're going to put is 000 000, because you don't have mileage on the bike yet. There's no, if you have an odometer, then you can use the miles from that. There we go. To make it nice and clear, 000 000, because you've got no miles in it yet. All you're going to do down at the bottom here is put your signature and then do the date that matches the one that you're going to do on the other side of the sheet for when you're about to send it all off. That is the whole of the V55. Simple as that. That's all it is. You just want to make sure you do it neat, easy to read, nothing's complicated, and make sure it's just all clear and ready to go, and then that should be perfect. Now you can put this V55 to the side and start getting your other information on, which will now move us to the Nova. Right, we're on to the next step. First of all, you want to go to www.hmrc.gov.uk/Nova. I'll put it on the screen as well, but it will bring you to this page. I can't remember exactly how you do this step, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to walk through it. I remember I've got it all saved on my phone, so as I'm going through it, I'll tell you exactly what I've done. So first of all, just straight away, all I'm going to do is click start now, and when I go on to the next step, I'll tell you what happens. Right, I've now gone to the next step. What it will do when you click that next button, it will bring you to a page where it asks you to put your government gateway ID. I think before I had to create one, so I've already got one already, but it's simple. You need to create one. You need your phone number, email address, and it will ask you your postcode and stuff. Easy, quick, simple to create. But yeah, on next, it'll bring you to this website, which all we're gonna do is create and amend in a new vehicle, Nova, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna keep going through the steps and show you what to do. It asked me in the last page if I wanted to amend a previous Nova or do a new one. All you have to do, I selected I didn't want to amend another Nova because I've already had one before. Are you importing a vehicle from the EU into the Northern Ireland? No, we're not. Are you a business or a private individual? Private individual. Are you notifying on behalf of the purchaser? No, we're self-notifying. So what we're going to do is next. So now this is where we had an issue before. I think the majority of the bikes that are in the UK are already Nova registered. However, well, from what I know, you can't just go reach out to them asking if the bike's been Nova registered. So what I did instead, this is probably not the correct way and I would not follow this. I'll do your own research. However, what I've done instead is are you importing a vehicle from the EU into Northern Ireland? Just put yes. And then what you're gonna do when you fill out your Nova and you get an email back, they will ask you, they'll say, oh, there's already a Nova in place for this vehicle. And then they'll just tell you the Nova information. I'll show you that when the email comes through. So we're going to go on that. We're going to go next from here. From here, we're now going to fill in the information that we need to fill in, such as name and address, vehicle identification number, photos, whatever they need. Just fill it in for your correct vehicle. You can see it all down here. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in all this. If I need to make another clip, you'll see it in the next clip. All right, once you're through that step, it'll bring you to a page asking, can you fill out your personal details? What you have to do is fill out that correctly, and then it'll also bring you to a page where you start filling out the details about the vehicle in question, which I'm gonna start doing now. It's all self-explanatory, just go through it step by step. It's all self-explanatory, step by step, and it's all simple questions. There's nothing complicated about it. Just fill out steps you need to do. It'll ask you for a supplier as well. I just put in my details for the supplier. I'm the supplier. But all UK vehicles that are already in the UK should be Nova registered. So when you fill out all this information is kind of useless. So even like you can see here, you're going to select motorcycle, the date the vehicle was made available to you, the date that you bought it, do you have a purchase invoice, All right, so once you fill out that information from the previous page, it's going to bring you to a page like this. It's either going to show you bit by bit as you click next, or it will show you all of it like this. You're just going to put your make. Is mine's Husqvarna, model FC450, 450, version no trim, type of motorcycle, competition motorcycle and ATV, competition motorcycle and ATV, style of motorcycle, motocross, transmission type manual, fuel type petrol, engine size 450, and then move on to the next step. Right, so we're on to the next page. All you're gonna do is fill out one vehicle, because we're doing it for one vehicle, as you can guess. Then you're gonna fill out your vehicle identification number, confirm the identification number, vehicle registration number. You're not going to have one, so you can't fill that out. Right, so for vehicle date, all you're going to do is put, so mine's a 2016, you're not going to know the exact date, so I want to put 01-01-2016 for 2016. That's what you're going to put. Mileage, you're going to put 0. Mileage in units, you're going to put as miles. It will say in these little down boxes. You're going to put miles in there. Stupid question, is the vehicle left-hand or right-hand drive? You're going to just put right-hand drive. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. For the total values in options, you're going to put 0, and then are you claiming relief? All you're going to do is select no. I'm going to fill this out now for myself, and then I'm going to move on to the next page. All right, so all it will ask you to do for the next couple pages is just say next, just confirming your details. And if you've done it all correctly, you'll get 3 ticks across these boxes, which then means you can carry on. If you've got an X in one of these boxes, all it means you probably just filled out, or you missed to fill out something. If you filled it out correctly, should be fine. But if you miss something or something or the other, it will say X, and then all you got to do is go back through whichever one it is. But for now, we can carry on and click next. Right, so once you keep clicking next and confirm your details, it will ask you to re-log in using a gateway number, and then it will bring you to the page where it is now sent your information and stuff to the HMRC to run what they need to run. You'll get an email back in the next couple of days and confirming information. So we're going to wait a couple of days now and see what we get back. So I did quickly look back at some of my previous emails. Ignore this page, I'll just put this up for now. They did take 20 days before to send me an email back about the Nova. So if you are submitting a Nova, make sure you get it in sooner or later, because while you're waiting for your Nova, your LOA is going to be on the way. So hopefully when everything comes, which right now it's the 3rd of March, so hopefully by the 20th, I'm hoping so, everything should be here and everything should be ready to go. Never been more excited for what's just come through in the post. The letter of authenticity. It's literally been, how long has it been? It's been a couple days. This normally takes like 2, 3, 4 weeks to come. It's been a couple days and the letter's already here, which is amazing. And then we're also, I'm going to cut to the next clip. We have some news about the Nova as well, which is just add to our day. Literally a day after we submitted the Nova, we get a message back saying, like, asking a bit more about the details. From here, all I did was reply to the email and I just explained what was going on, and I asked, is there already a Nova in place for this vehicle? I pretty much just said, I think there's a Nova in place for this vehicle. Are you okay to check for me? And then literally a day later, I get the email that I've been waiting for, which is your motorcycle is already on the Nova system. Which is amazing, because last time this took 20 days for them to respond. This was literally a day later, which is perfect, which means now all I've got to do for this is print this off and we can add that to our paperwork. That's all. That's the Nova finished. That's the Nova done and finished. So we're ready, collecting all the paperwork together. Now there's another crucial step for this process, which I'll change over to me now. Here we go. All right, we currently just got to the MOT centre. We're going to offload the bike, and then what you want to do, you want to use your LOA that you get. You want to give it to them. They've got mine right now, so they're going to run the VIN, make sure it's all safe to go. Then going to load it off and get the bike MOT'd. We passed. Look at that. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Took a while, but the bike is absolutely stunning. And we passed with absolute flying colours. So now all we have to do is collect all the information together. I've got to print off that email from Nova to confirm that my bike is with Nova, and then we should be able to pay the tax and pay the registration fee, and then we should be able to send it all off, and then we are ready to get on the road, baby. Let's go. Okay, so this is nearly everything that we will need now. So first of all, we have our V55, which we are going to finish off filling out. We're just going to put tomorrow's date, because I'm going to send this off letter off tomorrow. And we're also going to put the amount for the application fee. There's an application fee, and then there's a tax you've got to pay. So I'll tell you what they are in a second after we've gone through this. So I'm going to fill out the dates and finish off the rest of the information. So we'll put in the VIN and stuff for this. Then we want a photocopy of our driving license. So photocopy your driving license front and back, and sign it as well. So put a signature on a piece of paper somewhere just to show that you've signed it. This is your driving license, etc, etc. Letter of authenticity. I'm going to photocopy this though, because last time they didn't give it me back. So I'm going to photocopy them, send in this real one, of course, but I'm going to photocopy this just so I still have it, that I've got all the information that's on the letter. Next is photo evidence of the VIN and engine number. So I'm going to print off a picture of my bike's VIN and engine number. I'm also going to sign the back of them as well. You don't normally need to do that, but I'm just gonna, it's good to be safe with this sort of stuff. So you don't want them to send you a letter back saying you need to fill out some more information, etc. So I always do that. MOT certificate, which I'm also going to photocopy. You don't really need to do that either. I'm going to photocopy and send them the real one still though. So I'm going to send them all the real documents, but I'm going to photocopy it just so I have it for myself. Same with the V55. It's good to just either take a picture or photocopy it, just so you have reference of what you've given in. Lastly, you need to write a check for the registration fee and whatever tax period you're doing. So I'm doing 6 months tax, so I've got to send them a total check of, I think it's going to be around £90 or so. Other than that, I'm going to get all the information gathered ready now. I'm going to fill the last bits of information I need to, and then we should be ready to send it all off. So I'm going to photocopy these, and yeah, once I've done all that and printed off what I need to, I'll show you the last final steps and tell you how much the registration costs and all that. Your form amount is going to cost you £55, which has also gone up, which is a bit annoying. Why isn't my camera focusing? Which is a bit annoying, which leaves us with a grand total of, so we have 55 for the registration, and then what was it, 46.20? Yep, 55 plus 46.20. That will leave us with a grand total of £101.20. So that's what you need to write a check. You need to write a check of 100, well, whatever yours is. So don't copy this, but find out what yours is exactly. Mine, I'm going to write a check to DVLA. I'm going to get the exact check location, so make sure you send it to the right place. You're going to address your check to this address. Just make sure you search this up before you do it, and make sure to check through the DVLA website, because this is AI, but I'm going to go back through and make sure that is the exact right address, because at the end of the day, you don't want to be sending your check to the wrong place, because then all they're going to do in 2 to 4 weeks time is send your letter back saying you've done the wrong thing, and then you have to send it all off again, and you've got to wait another month before you can get your bike on the road. And I'm guessing all you want to do right now is get your bike on the road, so make sure everything is perfect. Like I said, before even sending off all your information, go back through it and just check over everything that you've done, because this is a very easy process, but it's also one that you've got to take care, and you've got to do it properly, because you only want to do it once, and I've messed up with that a couple of times. So do it once, do it right. So boom, I'm not going to show you what's in this document, of course, but as you lot can guess, it's the V5 come for the bike. And I just want to let you know, we sent all the documents off on the 7th. That means we had all the documents sent off and back within 10 days. Then if you put everything into the fact, the whole process took just over 2 weeks, which is crazy. These normally take like a month to 2 months to get all your information sorted, get everything back. But I've done this all within just over 2 weeks, which is crazy. I think it's because they've upped the prices of the LOAs, so it's easier to just run through everything and do everything quicker, which makes it a little bit better. But that means we've got our V5 back. So now that you've got your V5, you just want to open it up, make sure your information is correct. If you did get a letter back that looks like this, but they've sent you a letter back, it will just tell you that you've done something wrong. Maybe you didn't fill out the V5C correctly. If you followed every step that I showed you, it should all be correct. However, if you don't do it correct, they'll send you a letter back within 2 weeks explaining what you've done wrong or what you need. Last time I got a letter back saying I needed a Nova, which I forgot to add, so I just had to get that and then send it back off to them. But for me, everything's gone perfectly fine, and we are now officially ready to start riding on the road. But yeah, just go through your V5, make sure all your information is correct, make sure the CC is correct, make sure all your information is correct, make sure all the CC is correct, make sure the make's correct. Any little changes, just don't ignore them, make sure you do them, just so it's all done. If you do want to register 2 seats now you can send this back off and register it for 2 seats. As for that, you've now got your V5, so now what you can do, you can get your plate for your bike, which I'm not going to show you on this bike, but now you can get your plate for your bike and you can officially get on the road. You can jump straight on the road as soon as you got your plate, and as soon as you're insured, you can jump straight on the road and get riding. I hope you all made it through this process. If there's any questions at all, just put it down in the comments. Don't mind, I'm here to help you. I'm here to, if you've got any questions at all about the process or how to do it, and you've been like, I know it's different for Hondas and stuff. This process has been specifically for the KTM/Husky, but yeah, if you need help with the process, I'm more than happy to help you walk through it, show you how I did it. But thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel right here and the channel you're watching on, and I hope to see you soon, and for more videos coming soon.